I will be honest, the job search hasn't gone as smoothly as I was hoping. Yes, hello, welcome into Livestreams Sports here for another episode of Glory Hunter, and I'm going to spoil it just now. We're with Austria. You know, we've been with Austria for a while. Well, that's still the team that I'm managing because we're in November now, and I still don't have a club job. Basically, no club sacked their manager at the end of the season, which was very disappointing. The only one that did was Burnley. I applied for the job, and I didn't get it. So I've just had to advance my way through managing Austria through our World Cup qualifying stages and be applying for jobs when they have appeared. And to be honest, not many jobs have appeared. Now we're in an international window though. There are a few that interest me, and if we get one of them, I will let you know. I've had a couple of interviews for a few teams in Spain, a team in Germany and a team in France. So we'll see if we get any of those jobs. But I thought I would bring you our last qualifying game as Austria manager because, as you can see, we are top of our group at the moment by a point over Turkey. And if we win our game today, which is against Hungary, Turkey are likely going to beat Moldova. Moldova only have 1 point. But so long as we beat Hungary today, we will qualify for the World Cup in 2026 as Austria. Not bad going, huh? You can see so far in our 7 games we have won 5, drawn 1, lost 1. The loss and the draw were to Turkey. We've beaten everyone else every other time we've played them. So if we beat Hungary like we did the last time we played them, you can see the last time we beat Hungary 3-1 away from home, then we'll qualify top of this group and get into the World Cup. Exciting stuff. Let's get into it and let's show you the team. There has been one kind of update to our Austria side since you last saw it, all the way at the start of last season, probably just over a year ago now, wasn't it? It was the September window of 2024, the September international window of 2024. You saw the team. I realised David Alaba, after that, was Austrian. I know that makes not much sense, but he wasn't in my national pool. It turns out he'd retired from international football, so I asked him to come out of retirement. He has come out of retirement, and he plays pretty well for us, to be honest. So this is our Austrian side as it is at the moment. We do have an injury to Hans Wolf, who normally plays in right wing for us, and Sabitzer normally would sit in midfield, and Seivold would sit in, Alaba, Sabitzer and Seivold normally are our midfield 3, but we've moved Sabitzer to cover the right wing position, and we brought in Schlager to play as a ball-winning midfielder. So this is the team that we've got. Almost full-strength team for Austria here. And if we win today, we qualify for the World Cup in 2026. Pence is our goalkeeper. I'll give you some updates on some of these players if you don't remember who they were from all that time ago. To be honest, I still don't know who half of them are, and I've been managing them for the last year. Patrick Pence, he is at Austria Vienna in real life, but he's moved to Saudi Arabia in the game, and he's our first choice goalkeeper. Lazaro, we know Valentino Lazaro. He was at Roma with us for so long. Maricic at the back at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And also, we're going to go with Philipp Leinhardt, who is at Wolfsburg as well. Other options, normally we play Maximilian Wöber, who's at Leverkusen, but he's struggling for a little bit of fitness, so he's not going to play today, certainly not start. And Friedel is our left back, he is at Marseille. Schlager, who's currently at Wolfsburg. We have a lot of German-based players in the team. Seivold, who's at Hertha Berlin. He was at Manchester City, and he's just went to Hertha Berlin. Obviously, not much to say about David Alaba. He's at Real Madrid. He's pretty good. As simple as that. Sabitzer is at Tottenham at the moment, 31-year-old. Demir is obviously the youngster who's on loan at Barcelona this season from Rapid Vienna. Well, Man United bought him in the game. Not really using him, but he's a first-choice winger for us. And Baumgartner, the Hoffenheim attacking midfielder / central midfielder, plays up front for us. And he scored a few goals. As you can see, he scored 3 in 6 starts, which isn't too bad. We play on the counter. We play fairly defensive. We try and get the ball forward quickly and let the front three do the fancy work. And it works. We've only conceded 2 goals in the qualifying stages. And yeah, defensively we're solid and we get the odd goal. That's basically how we play. So here we go, up against Hungary. Let's get into it and let's qualify for the World Cup. I know, exciting, isn't it? I realised that the red I use for Austria is not quite right. I kept the same colour as I did for Roma, and it's a little bit too dark. So when we get to the World Cup, if we get to the World Cup, I'll make sure and change that to a slightly lighter shade of red. But that's not really important at the moment as we advance through all the pre-match rubbish that happens and we play against Hungary. A win takes us to the World Cup. Let's see if we can do it as Lineheart comes forward early on here, over to Friedel and back to Alaba, and Schlager has it, and Seiwald, and Baumgartner, and Sabitzer, and Valentino Lazaro. Can he get himself on the score sheet or an assist? He assists Baumgartner. No offside given, which means 30 seconds into the game, the first shot of the game, we lead 1-0, and we are going to the World Cup. You can see nice football here. Sabitzer brings the fullback inside. Lazaro goes down the line, gets past the winger who's coming back to defend, and Baumgartner with a lovely, lovely volley into the bottom corner of the goal. And we lead 1-0, but Hungary have got a chance from their kick-off. Let's hope it doesn't materialise to anything. There's Attila, who obviously we had when we were managing Roma, playing at the back in this back three, and the ball switched over to Bola on that right-hand side. Can he put the ball in the box? He finds Varga, back to Bola, back to Kalmar now, and Szoboszlai hits that ball and it's just off the frame of a goal. And nearly in the first 2 minutes, it's 1-1. Another highlight now, starting with Hungary deep in their own half, and Bola on that right-hand side. We've got a lot of players behind the ball, as you can see. Look, every one of our players behind the ball in our own half. We don't really press. We just sit back, low block, a kind of 4-1-4-1 when we defend and say try and get past us. And most teams struggle as the ball comes into the box there, and we just about have managed to keep that out. And Sabitzer will come away with it. Yeah, we're quite difficult to break down. I think that would be safe to say. And we break away, try and get the odd shot and goal when we can. We've got skillful players like Demir, and Hans Wolf normally plays, and we've got Sabitzer on the right hand side as the ball comes to him here. Are good going forward. We'll see what they can do. It's into Seiwald, into Baumgartner, nearly gets his second of the day as it's blocked and clears away, and Hollander gets challenged by Maricic. And then we can come away again, can we? Baumgartner, Valentino Lazaro down this right hand side. Can he get the ball in the middle? There's men there if he can. Finds Sabitzer, over to Seiwald, back to Schlager, and David Alaba, who hits it from a long way out. And Golaski in the goal saves that one. Two of the probably the main men of each team. Alaba for us and Golaski in the goal for Hungary. Two of the best players of each of these sides going head to head there. And that time Golaski coming out on top as Demir goes down the wing and the ball's cleared away. Looking at the other games going around, Turkey still haven't taken the lead against Moldova yet. So as it stands, we don't need to be beating Hungary. But it's good that we are, and the game will continue on here. Not many highlights normally in these Austria matches because we play fairly boring football. But you never know, there might be another interesting highlight in this second half before we have to make any substitutions. And here we go, the ball's cleared away toward Baumgartner, but he does not get on the end of it, and instead Hungary have a chance to come forward. Ferreira over to Attila, and Szoboszlai plays it out to High Start on this left hand side. Can we get across and defend it? Salai comes in field. Will he hit it? It's well over the bar. Poor effort from him. We still lead 1-0 with 28 minutes to go in this game. We're going to make a few substitutions. Demir struggling up top, so put Baumgartner out on the left and put Mustafa back up front. Yeah, Mustafa was our striker before we ended up using Baumgartner up there. In fact, Baumgartner's not playing well either, so we'll move Sabitzer over and we'll bring on Schopf to play on that right hand side. And Alaba is struggling as well for some fitness and is on a yellow, so we'll bring on Ljubic to play in midfield as well. A triple substitution with 20 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Let's find out. As Friedel plays it back to Pence in our goal. And it's forward to Maricic, and Maricic over to Lineheart. He comes forward with the ball. He likes advancing forward with the ball, does Lineheart. Sabitzer gets challenged by Bola, and surely that's Hungary down to 10 men. Second yellow card, almost certainly for that man there. Indeed it is, and Hungary are down to 10. This is a game that surely we should control for the last 10 minutes of it here. The time is ticking down. There is a corner though, Lazaro into the middle, and it's just off the frame of the goal. We could have went 2-0 up and could have solidified our position, as somehow Turkey are still being held by Moldova with 2 minutes to go here. The ball comes across the midfield. Schlager finds Seiwald, who's in acres of space. Obviously, we're playing against 10 men. There'll be a lot of space for us. Lazaro, Seiwald, into Schopf. Back to Lazaro and Seiwald. And it goes into Mustafa. And over to Sabitzer. And Seiwald's through. And he chips the keeper. And he scores a second. And we are through. We have qualified for the World Cup in 2026. Can Austria win the World Cup? Maybe not, but I tell you what, we play pretty well. We play pretty compact. We don't concede goals, even against the big sides. Normally they struggle to beat us. And we are through, topping that group with, 6 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. It's a pretty good record. I said we had an easy first seed in Turkey, and we did. So easy, in fact, they drew with Moldova on the last day, which seems crazy to me. Moldova managed to get their points by drawing with Bulgaria and Turkey. Wow. So Turkey kind of threw it away at the end there. The last 2 games were a draw with Hungary and a draw with Moldova, which means that we were able to jump ahead of them and qualify for a World Cup. Hey, could we check that one off the list? Let's find out in it's going to be about 7 or 8 months' time. The FA are very happy with my performance qualifying for the World Cup. I'm glad of that, and it's going to be December, which is when the World Cup schedule will happen. That's when the draw will be made for the World Cup. So we'll advance on towards then. We'll maybe get to see that in a future episode if we get a club between now and then, or I'll tack it on to the end of this episode if we don't have a club by then. I say we've applied for a few jobs, so we'll need to see if we get one. Now, I didn't realise that some best place, second places also qualify for a World Cup, because I forgot that 2026 is the first World Cup, whereas it's an expanded World Cup, isn't it? There's 48 teams going to the World Cup in 2026 instead of the normal 32. So that means from Europe, you've got Croatia, who won their group, and they go with Ukraine, France and Greece going as well. Kosovo nearly getting there. Denmark and Ireland both going through as well from Group C. Belgium won their group quite comfortably. Norway and Germany go through. Scotland just missing out. Ourselves getting through. No one else from our group though. Italy and Sweden. Portugal, England and Poland. And then Spain. And clean sheets. Look at that. Just beside our head. Patrick Pence with 6 clean sheets. That's top for the tournament. We are very solid defensively. We don't score many, but we're solid at the back. And we have moved up 1 place to 27th in the world rankings. Well, here is a message I've been waiting for about the last 4 or 5 months. We have been offered a contract just a couple of days after we got Austria to the World Cup, I must say, from a team. And that team is Villarreal. If we go and have a look at Villarreal, we'll have a look at La Liga. Villarreal are down in 13th position. They sacked their manager, Roberto Martinez, just before that international break. I applied for the job, had an interview as well as an interview with a few other teams as well, but we have been offered this job. Now, I must say, it is currently 12:15 on Saturday. They play at 6:30 on the Saturday night, and they're offering me the job. So if I did get the job, it would be crazy if I managed that first game on the same day, but probably that's the way that it's going to work here. So if we take this job, which, spoiler, we are, I think it's a great team to select here, Villarreal. If we have a look at previous seasons, go all the way back to the start, Villarreal finished 3rd, just a point off Sevilla. They could have finished 2nd that season. They then dropped down to 7th, then 5th, then last season 3rd again, which means they're currently in the Champions League group stage. And now they're all the way down in 13th position. If we look at their schedule, you can see how they've done so far in their first few games. They had a poor run of results there. I mean, to be fair, Valencia, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, not exactly the easiest run of games, but they did lose them all. They're in a group in the Champions League with Sporting, Wolfsburg and Man City. They still have a game against Wolfsburg and Man City yet to play. Might be difficult to get out it, but maybe we could get into the Europa League with them and try to do something with them in the Europa League. But yeah, this looks like a team who I quite like the look of. There are some brilliant players in here. Van Foyth is not one of the ones I thought I would say is one of the good players, but he is a solid centre back. Karsdorp, who we got rid of, remember, at Roma, right in the first transfer window. He went to Juventus. Well, he is here at Villarreal now. Look at Nikola Milenkovic as well. Somebody we were considering signing last year, actually, before he was signed by Villarreal. We looked at Milenkovic on loan or Kimpembe. We ended up bringing Kimpembe in, and to be honest, it was probably the wrong choice upon further reflection. Looking elsewhere in the team, there's wingers. And then we've not obviously used wingers in our club career, really. We did the first couple of years, but maybe this man Chukwueze here. Chukwueze? I'll go Chukwueze. That's what I'm going to say for him. The Nigerian. He's been at Villarreal most of his career after coming from Nigeria. He looks very, very good. Sander Berg, they have as a central midfield option as well side. Francis Coquelin, probably not going to be using him that much, I will be honest. And Moy Gomez there, as someone 31 years old, probably look to move him on. Ivan Martin is a well-rounded player playing in that attacking midfield position. And Alcacer up front, probably a poacher now. His physicals are starting to decline, but 17 finishing is pretty good. If you look at the number of goals he scored, it's not as many as you'd actually have hoped if you look at his previous goal scoring form. He's only got 2 this season, which isn't great either, and he only had 11 last year. But let's look at some of the other players that currently aren't in the first team for some reason, but realistically would be in the first team. Pau Torres, obviously, the main centre-back, very, very solid. He would be in my team. Looking elsewhere, there's a young man here from Bosnia and Herzegovina. He looks absolutely outstanding. Goodness me. His role duty, it says 3.5 star, but he's got very good physical stats. Dribbling 15, first touch 14, passing 16, technique's good as well. Fair enough, maybe, his defensive stats could do with perhaps improving slightly, and he's 5'7", so he's never going to be winning any headers. But he looks alright, could do with improving his composure and decisions. We'll see if his mentals can maybe improve, but he looks like a good young player. Even if we don't use him, if we sell him, we could bring in a lot of money. And some other interesting players as well. It feels like a squad I could do something with, develop it, certainly try and get back up into Europe. It feels not like a title winning side at the moment, but in a couple of years, who knows? And, we spent 4 years at Roma. Maybe if we spend 3 here at Villarreal, get ourselves maybe a Europa League, maybe a Conference League. Maybe that's the sort of thing we should be looking for if we can try and qualify for the Conference League this year. Obviously, with us being a little bit further down the table, then that's something realistically we could do without the board being too unhappy, and then go and win the Conference League, and that would check that off the list. I think that could be quite a useful thing to do anyway. Another interesting thing to look at as well is they're going to offer us £30 million transfer budget with a wage budget of 1.4. I'm not quite sure how much they're spending just now. I don't think you can see that at this stage, can you? But there's some money there to go and spend on some players, and I think that could be very exciting indeed, and this is the job we're going to take. They want us to develop the club's youth system and sign players under the age of 23. That's normally what I do anyway. Don't listen to that man who sometimes wears red who says I sign old players for no reason. Just ignore it. They want us to work within the wage budget. They would like us to get to the first knockout round of the Champions League. It looks like that might be difficult, to be honest, but all they want us to do is finish mid-table and then reach the semi-final of the Cup and then continue to qualify for the Euro Cup too. I think we could do that, and we're going to hit that start negotiations button and finalise deal. They're going to give us a 3-year deal until the end of 2028. Finalise, exit talks, and as we advance on, we will now be the Villarreal manager and welcome in to El Submarino Amarillo, the Yellow Submarine, Villarreal. And the next episode will be our first one with Villarreal, and we will have a proper introduction to the squad, see what formation we're going to use, and then we'll play our first game, which very easily could be against Cadiz, and this literally on the day we get given the job. So if you have enjoyed this one, a little Austria update, qualifying for the World Cup, and now we've just been given a new job with Villarreal, then please do leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our new chapter here with Villarreal. And until the next one, as I say, it will be our first game with Villarreal. We'll see you then.